What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another cup of conversation where we have conversations worth having. I am your host, T, and you are now tuned in to another episode of the Anywhere But There series. As you can see, I'm not in my normal recording studio because I'm taking a little time away to find that creative spark again and also possibly find my new recording home. So, we are at the Hive Houston today. If you are a creator and you are in Houston and you haven't checked out the Hive, you're doing yourself a disservice. This place got all the things you need to have the best positive and good quality content in Houston. So check them out. Make sure y'all come check out some of these dope rooms right here at 7800 Amelia Street, okay? And we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this because I had a good episode last week with an entrepreneur woman, and I wanted to speak to a male perspective of that same conversation. So today, I have a special guest. I have Ricky Julien II. Y'all give it up for our finest. And my boy, Ricky, how you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for asking.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for spending some time with me and taking some time out of your day to, have these important conversations, because I feel like these conversations are necessary because our community doesn't know certain things to get them to the places that they need of financial freedom. And that's kind of what we talked about on my last week's episode. I had an entrepreneur on, and she was just talking about being financially free, whether you're taking the corporate ladder or you taking the entrepreneur ladder. So I know you're an entrepreneur. Just tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, well, first and foremost, my name is Ricky St. Julien II,
Okay.
a.k.a. Silk G, a.k.a. the Ebony Prince, a.k.a. the Orange, Texas native, H-Time resident, a.k.a. Mr. Blast from the past. Hell, when I'm well and got everything for sale.
Okay.
Include my new books. So currently, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in a publishing industry.
Okay.
I'm in the trucking industry, and as well as tax preparation services. Those are just a few as far as business related. So that's what I do. Always been in entertainment most of my life. Besides entrepreneurship, I've had many crafts. I still have many crafts,
right,
as far as knowledge and education to get different jobs and everything like that. Entrepreneurship is just where I thrive at.
Okay.
Personally, is what like you said, financial freedom. And what comes with financial freedom, the thing that I love about it most is the freedom itself, the freedom to do the things that you're more passionate about,
Right.
The freedom to spend time with your loved ones, your family, or whatever it is that you like to do. So that's the course that I'm on right now as far as entrepreneurship.
I love that. And did you see that for yourself as like a youngin? Like, and when you were growing up, did you have goals to be self-made, or do you think that you were thinking, oh, I'm gonna try this sport? Because you know where we from.
Right.
Football, small town. So sports, did you feel like you were gonna try a sport or go to school and create a career? Or did you know?
Well, it's funny that you asked me that because I always been athletic and I love sports as a young man and as a juvenile, but it wasn't a course that I took. I actually had some difficulties as growing up. I was real little, real small I didn't have a growth spurt to probably after I graduated.
Okay.
Everybody used to just call me Lil Ricky. I was just so small.
Yeah.
So the reason I say that is because it affected me playing sports. I couldn't really play sports.
Right.
My mother ended up taking me to the doctor, and I used to always have a pain in my leg and my knee, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So the doctor told her that my bone was going crooked. I never even told nobody this. This is my first time saying this on this podcast. But yeah, my bone was growing crooked in my leg and my knee. So that was the reason for the pain in my leg or whatever. So he basically told her that it would never stop.
I was just gonna say, so sports was probably really
right.
nothing.
So it was a dead issue. As
Yeah.
much as I wanted to play, like a lot of my homeboys and everything in school, they played. They never. I chose a different route.
Right.
And the route that I chose, it wasn't the best route to go. I ended up, choosing the streets because the sports thing wasn't for me. Like I say, where we from, that's what everybody get into.
Right.
So I didn't take that route. I took another route.
I like that you mentioned where we from. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I feel like young people where we from or just coming up, they feel like that's the only two options, either
Right.
sports or the streets.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them don't hone into academics or really try to find a career path because it's not like the corporate ladder can't take you nowhere if you use it the right way and you know how to, make your money work for you too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they know a lot about that. Like we lacking financial literacy where we from.
Yeah, definitely. And not just where we from, but a lot
yeah,
of people all
yeah,
over
yeah.
the world. And part of that is because of the public school system. When they do teach you academics, they are basically teaching you how to pass tests.
Yeah.
You know, you pass tests and you get a degree, you get a job.
Yeah.
They're never really teaching you financial freedom, how to be your own boss, how to have tax advantages, things of that nature. And if they did teach that, then you would probably have a lot more entrepreneurs.
Right.
But of course, you need people to work
yeah.
for other people. So
Systematic.
yeah, systematic approaches. So yeah, that's why, we really don't have a lot of that.
Like in your household, what was your like example of success? Like what does that look like in your family?
I come from a traditional household and values where, success was basically get a job, get married,
Yeah.
take care of your family, and that was the end goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
the American way,
or some people might call it the American dream.
Same way in my household. So I don't know how that kind of like birthed the entrepreneur spirit in me because I say that all the time. Like I have a mom that has a straightforward corporate job. She worked up the the corporate ladder, but she's learning financial literacy as she goes from her corporate career. Like, so I don't think she had the capacity to really be teaching us like, hey, go do your taxes like this and make sure you investing money into insurance so you can, do things in the future, make sure you saving up and doing this and doing that. So I just don't think that our parents really had that structure. But what do you think in like our generation or really just us after that older generation that kind of think about, the straightforward, like the American dream, like you said, after that, what do you think in us kind of sparked that go get a spirit? Like, what do you think it was the street, like the hustling side and trying to put something together?
Well, just having more education and knowledge than they had 50 years ago.
True.
I just saw I read something the other day. It said that millennials are on the way to being the wealthiest generation in history. So I'm a millennial, you know what I mean? I graduated in 2001 and whatnot, first graduating class of the millennium or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I was happy to see that. So I do realize that a lot of that comes with technology as well.
Okay.
So I believe having more technology sparked entrepreneurship in millennials and the next generations that we have coming under us because they didn't have those different ways. Now you can make passive income without hands-on. Everything with our parents and before that it was started way back from
you gotta move your body to go get some work. You gotta get up and go
do hands-on. A lot of hands-on approaches. Nowadays you have social media and all kind of different ways where you can make passive income to being entrepreneurs. You have right now kids 18, 19 years old on YouTube making millions of dollars.
That's good. It's a gift and a curse, I feel like, because now I have a nephew that's like 18 and I feel like they don't take the time to even try to learn about certain things. Because even if you want to be that viral YouTube sensation, you still need to know about LLCs. You still need to know about, contracts and this and that. Yeah. So they want that instant gratification, but that's how like I feel like in the early 2000s, that's how like a lot of people got fucked in those artist deals. Everybody want to be an artist. They want that instant gratification, but they don't know nothing about no paperwork.
Fact.
They don't know nothing about what it should look like on the percentage end. Like you just sign it and go because you want that quick. And I feel like that's kind of where the generation right up under us is getting caught because they can go quick. They can go viral tomorrow.
Oh,
and
definitely.
And if they wanted to sell a product with a platform, they could do that, but they wouldn't know the logistics of it, the back part of it. So I'm rooting for us because I feel like we got both sides and we know the hard work of it with the older generation, but we also know the quick money grab of it from like the younger generation. But them, I'm scared for them young boys because I feel like they just moving too quick. They want that instant. Like, do you have younger kids in your life where you see that kind of playing out, or even in our community? Like,
oh, definitely. We living in a microwave world today. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want everything. Like right now, that instant gratification. And it's not just youth. Unfortunately, there's a lot
it's
of
adults
older
too.
people. It's adults too. You know, everybody, they don't want to put in the steps, the hard work and everything that it takes to, you know, when you do get it, be able to keep it.
Right.
You can get it, you know, in the society that we living in today. Like you say, you can have that viral moment, but if you haven't built your character up, if you haven't built the right steps or signed the right business contracts, everything to keep it, you can lose it just as fast as you get it.
Exactly.
And you know, studies show that the most successful men don't really become successful until like after 40 years old. And I know young people hate to hear that because I hated to hear when people was telling it to me. But it's not saying that you can't get rich when you're young, because of course we know plenty of young people
got
with money.
Yeah.
But because you haven't been taught those lessons that come along with it, those lifelong lessons, you can lose it just as fast as you get it. You know what I mean? And that happens all the time. It happened with me. It happened with a lot of people. So yeah, you have to learn the business aspect even when you get that money, you know.
So tell us a little about those trials, because people hate for us to get on this couch and talk about all the, you know, just what you need to do, you need to be, without something that they had to go through. So like, tell us about like how you had to make that transition from, all right, now I know I can't play sports, I'm finna go to the streets, but then you figured out the streets wasn't it. Now you had to figure out something different. I feel like everybody at that, they get that certain age and it just hits like, I got something, it's something better that I need to be doing. I need to start being more adult. Like, you know, I need to get my money in order. I need to stop going paycheck to paycheck and just, you know, spending money and willy-nilly just doing whatever.
Well, personally, for me, the transition came after being incarcerated. And I realized that at one point, it was easy for me to be like, you know what, this is all I know.
Yeah.
But then it started to dawn on me, well, you better learn something different, because if you keep doing the same old thing, you'll get the same results.
Yeah.
You know, and had it just been me, I would have been selfish and be like, you know what, this is what it is, I'm gonna do it till I die, whatever. But then after having kids, you realize that the decisions that you make just not about you, it's about the people who love you as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether it's your kids, even if you don't have kids, you have somebody, you know, sisters, brothers, mamas, daddies, somebody out there love you. So for me, it was realizing that the choices that I made, it just wasn't about me no more. It was about other people as well. So that's when the transition for me came, when I realized, you know what, I have to learn to do something else. You know, I have to learn something different. So yeah, I just started, I'm real autodidactic. I read a lot of books while I was incarcerated, teaching myself how to do things. Never really was the type to wait on other people. If you wait on other people to do something for you, yeah, look, it might not ever happen. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take the initiative and be progressive about the things that you want and go get it. Even if you don't know how to do it, you got to teach yourself how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, we live in an information age these days where you can Google things, YouTube videos and everything. So that's just what I did. You know, I used to be like in music and everything like that. So once I got incarcerated, I really couldn't have access to a studio and everything. So I started writing books. Like I ain't had nothing but a pen and paper, and I was like, okay, my escape from prison was mentally. Like my mom, she told me, baby, they can lock you up, don't let them lock up your mind.
Your mind,
You feel me? So I just started writing to escape. You know, I started writing urban fiction novels, started writing self-help books. And that way, you know, when I came home, I had something to work with then. But that's just one thing. I really don't know where to start when it comes, because I've done a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? I remember when I first got out, I started working in the plants. I went to school and got my NCCER safety certification.
Was that a do what I gotta do type thing, or is that something you wanted to do?
I wanted to do it because I had a boss mentality, right? So even at a young age, this was like, rewind, I'm talking about like when I was like 23 years old, the first time I got out and everything like that, I was a scaffold builder.
Okay. Yeah.
Climbing up scaffolds and everything like that. And that's real physical
Yeah.
labor. That's not no easy job to do. So I was like, dang, what can I do besides this to where I don't have to do as much work?
Yeah.
So I like, okay, I'm gonna get into safety. So that's what made me do that. So I got certified safety, construction site safety supervisor,
Yeah.
all the certifications for that, OSHA, everything like that. Basically, the point I'm making is I've just always continually try to learn something else so I wouldn't have to revert back to that lifestyle that I was living.
I always ask men that because I feel like y'all always fall into what you have to do
Hmm.
versus what you want to do. And I don't know if y'all ever get the time to like nurture that little boy's dream. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all ever get the chance to like, cause women, I feel like we do it a lot. Like, it might be some women that go hard for their career and they do what they got to do for their kids and their lives and all this other stuff. But it's always a point, I feel like, for women more times than men that we sit down and we like, nah, I'm just doing what I've been doing, what I've been having to do. Nah, I want to do what I want to do.
Right.
Like, so
Yeah.
do y'all ever get that point? Because I know you got to take care of kids, you the
Oh,
provider, you
definitely.
gotta,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's with most people. You feel like you're doing what you have to do. That's why so many people get a job.
yeah,
It's not what they want
want
to
to do,
do. Like,
yeah,
who really want to do that?
yeah,
You know what I mean? But they feel like that's what they have to do. And for me, I don't judge nobody because everybody's survival is interdependent. Like
hmm
I can sit up here and spill knowledge and do everything, but at the end of the day, when I walk away, you got to pay your bills.
yeah,
So I would love to be in a position to where not only do I can spread wisdom to people, but I have, a nonprofit or something to
the
give
bank
back
it,
and
yeah,
help people out
yeah,
because I get it. You know what I mean? That's why I say I don't judge nobody what kind of job they got, whatever kind of hustle. I get it. You got to do what you got to do
yeah,
sometimes. But at some point, if you want things to change, then something has to change.
yeah,
Like you can't think tomorrow is gonna be this different if tomorrow you wake up and you do the
and
exact
yeah,
same thing you did today.
yeah,
And the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one footstep. It might not just happen instantly,
hmm
but you got to take gradual steps. It's just like going up a staircase. You just don't jump at the top. You got to take step by step.
yeah,
So for me, I just like to encourage people take a step into doing whatever it is that you want to do. And the more steps you take towards that, you can walk away from whatever it is that you don't want to do.
yeah. I'm trying to instill that into my nephew because I think he see like the instant like he see people where they done made it to, but he don't know the little steps, like the little steps. Like, and yeah, you might want to, be a music producer or whatever, but you got to fund your career. So you got to get this little job. You got to do those little things to make it to where you need to make it to. And I think they really rebellious on that working and just sticking to the plan. But
Hmm.
like you said, you can't turn around one day and just be successful. Like you're
Yeah.
not gonna wake up tomorrow and have these 3 books written for you already. You had to
Yeah.
work on that little by little.
Right.
So
Right.
like I like that you said that. And hopefully it's a young man watching around here somewhere that
Yeah.
could really resonate with that. But I do want to ask a little bit, like you said, in jail, that's when, writing kind of was your escape. You kept on writing when you got out, like how is writing kind of
Oh, I've never stopped. These three books right here, I actually lost count how many books I've self-published.
okay.
I want to say maybe 12, 13, something like that. I've written way more. I haven't even
So you be writing like
published
full
how much.
books?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You're not writing just to get your thoughts out, just
No, I've these are three self-help books, but I have urban fiction novels as
okay.
well. I've did some
Turning them into like
children's
creative
books.
stories and
Yeah,
stuff.
I've written movie scripts. I never stopped writing. So for me, my strategy is I'm gonna write a chapter a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna dedicate some time. Like I'm working on a book right now. Like every day, I'm gonna dedicate, say like an hour, because a lot of things it comes with time management.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything you want to do comes with times
right.
management.
So think about we all have the same 24 hours in a
Mm-hmm.
day. We have 10 toes, 10 fingers, just like Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey. If the only difference is what did they do with their 24 hours?
Yeah.
And a lot of us, we go through our 24 hours and we never dedicate time to doing the things that we want to do. And you talk to a lot of people, they say, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want my own business. What are you doing within your 24 hours to go
In that
in that
direction.
direction?
Yeah.
A lot of people, they work all day. I was one of those people. I know what it feels like to work
Yeah.
7 10s and 7 12s. It was also, working jobs like that, which helped me realize if I can work 12 hours a day for somebody else 7 days a week. I've worked jobs. I've worked in the oil field before, like 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? 20 days straight shifts. If I can do this for somebody else, what is stopping me from doing it for myself?
Exactly.
Either way it go, 24 hours go past, 12 hours go past.
Yeah.
So I'm either gonna be working for somebody else's vision, or I'm gonna be working for mine.
And that's where
At
I'm.
the end
That's
of the day.
exactly
So
where I'm at.
that was another transitional point for me to escape the job and be like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing this for myself, because, like I said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You can look at where you at today and next year. If you go 365 days doing the exact same thing, next year you're gonna be in probably 9 times out of 9, you're gonna be in the same spot.
Yeah. So when people get to New Year's and hoping something new happened, I just be like, did you do anything
Anything
new
Yeah.
throughout this year for something new to happen? Like, and I've done the same thing. I've worked the 12 hours in the plants. I didn't pray for the 9 to 5 so I could just work 8 to 5. And now that's even getting like, I don't have the time for myself. I don't have the time to, because 8 to 5, everything closed after 5. Everything important.
Right.
Banks, you trying to go get loans for your business. You trying to do this. So it's hard to do both. But you see where I'm at. You got to make time for your like, if anything that you want to do, you have to set aside that time for your craft. We was just talking last week, and the girl that we were interviewing, Ashley, said anybody who has a goal only needs the time and space. They don't need anything. Like, you gonna need the money, of course, so you gonna save up for that. But as long as you're making the time for it, for your creative energy to, and get out that spark that you got in your mind, then you'll be able to be successful because you're taking those steps. It's not going to be an instant success. I know you probably didn't wake up and sell all your books in one day the first time you wrote. So like, that's kind of what I want people to get from entrepreneurship, because I think they see a lot of entrepreneurs and they think like, oh, they got their shit together. This look easy. Like, I can do it. But entrepreneurs really don't show that side of the grind, that side of,
oh yeah,
because you say you got an independent publishing, so you pushing all your shit yourself. So you got to know about marketing. You got to learn about different lanes and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a team or anything, or it's just?
Oh, I have.
Or people in your corner?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can't do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get that misconstrued too. And you can make it a lot further when you do have help, or you outsource and you pay other people to do things. But you made a valuable point just now. I want to get back to it. You said time.
Yeah.
And I want to just pinpoint on time, because time is our most valuable asset. Yes, people might think, oh, I need money to start a business. I need this to start a business. But at the end of the day, like you said, is your time. Time is the only asset that once you lose it, you can't get it back.
Exactly.
You lose money, you can make that money back. Sometimes even when you lose your health, you do the right things, you can restore your health back. But once you lose that time is gone.
Yep.
So if you do 5 years here, 10 years there, and you haven't put no time whatsoever to go in a direction that you want to be in, you're going to be in the same spot. Like, time is your most valuable asset, so that's very important. And like that you mentioned it.
With time though, and you being like a serial entrepreneur, like you have multiple businesses and stuff, how do you navigate your time and not just be picking up and putting down and not giving one enough attention so it's thriving, and leaving one on the back burner? Like, how do you kind of negate your time between your businesses?
Time management, and you focus. The way the brain works, you can only think one thought at a time. You can't, you can try to multitask, but you won't be good at nothing. I hear a lot of people say that, oh, you can only do one thing. That's a lie. I'm here to tell you that's a lie.
Yeah.
You might can only could do one thing.
Yeah.
I could do multiple things. Now, can I do multiple things at once? Nah, that's not how the brain works.
Right.
But if I say at 2 o'clock, I'm gonna dedicate 2 to 3 doing this.
Mhm.
If I say from 3 to 4, I'm gonna dedicate 3 to 4 doing fitness, personal training, or 5 to 6, or 8 to 10, whatever. Then I can have time management, and the next day I made progress in all these different areas.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how that works. A lot of people, I don't have time. I don't have time to work out, but you have 2 to 3 hours to watch Netflix. Or I don't have time to write a book, but you have 2 or 3 times to scroll on Facebook.
Yeah,
social
and that's
media.
like my point I wanted to make. You think it's about what you care about? Like you say you care about it, but it's not really showing in your actions because you're not making the time. So do you think that has something to do with how people value what they actually trying to do?
It has a lot to do with discipline.
Okay.
A lot of people don't have the discipline to do different things. You can't control nothing in your life until you can control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A thing that also helped me a lot to become more disciplined in life was meditation. A lot of people, you hear about it and everything like that without really realizing how important meditation can be. Meditation is simply nothing more than just sitting still and concentrating on your breathing.
Mm-hmm.
A person like me, well, the older version of me had a high anxiety, different things like that. I felt like I had to smoke, drink, whatever to calm myself down. So when I first started practicing meditation, I couldn't sit still for like 1 minute. I'm jumping up, you know what I mean? But the more I started practicing it, I was like, yo, I could do it now a long time and don't do nothing but just completely be still.
Yeah.
But a person who haven't done that practice, that's hard. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. But if you can't control yourself, how do you expect to control any avenue in your life?
I've been saying that like for the last few months. I've been saying I'm disciplined in certain areas, but like when it comes to like, fitness and stuff like that, health and things like that, I've been so structured to do this, and I have to, it's like my body is almost running me. You know what I mean? Like if I get a craving for this, it's almost like that's what the hell I gotta go eat. Like I'm like, bro, I don't want to feel like my body is running me. Exactly. I want to feel like I got a mind up here. Like,
and you do.
So I have to like really sit with, like you said, I might have to meditate some more. I do meditate every now and then, like when I feel like myself being too anxious, or if I feel like I'm too overwhelmed with business thoughts, I can't stop thinking about work or the podcast or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I do try to just be still, sit and get some peace and be still.
Yeah.
But certain things, I swear, that discipline is a motherfucker.
That's what
I be like,
discipline.
Bro, I do not have to crave fried rice and then really go get fried rice. Like, it don't gotta work like that. Yeah. Like, it's almost like your body sometimes. I don't know. I know y'all know what I'm talking about, because I ain't the only one.
Oh, no.
With bad habits.
We all fight it, but that's what it boils down to. You have to be self-disciplined, because you can be disciplined by other people. As kids, we had our parents wake you up at a certain time. Hey, get up. You better not miss that bus. You know what I mean? But as we become adults, nobody is there to tell you what to do no more.
Yeah.
It's all on us, so you have to have that self-discipline within yourself to where, you were like, I'm waking up and I'm taking control of my life.
Yeah.
And the next day, you do it again. And the next day, you do it again. And you continuously make it habit forming until eventually you start to see those results.
I love that. And lastly, I want you to just tell the people a little about, you said self-help books?
Yeah, so
I seen you posting about them on Facebook.
Yeah. So this book right here, this is my baby. This is the 48 Laws of Hustling.
Okay.
Don't be a statistic. I actually wrote this book. I actually published the first book from I was in maximum security at the time, and I wrote the book.
Oh, wow.
But I republished it, which now you have the revised version, because once it dawned on me, like, yo, I can really write a book. I gotta come with my best. You can't, and I'm gonna say this, as Black people, we can't just be putting anything out there and be like, oh, it's Black owned, people go support it. No, we have to strive for Black excellence.
Yeah.
So with my books, I really, put my best foot forward in these books. So I wrote that book to reduce recidivism. A lot of according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics in the article, 1 in every 3 Black males born today can expect to go to prison. So that's a lot. I saw that it was a problem, and I was like, yo, if I had somebody telling me, or a book I can read on things not to do that would lead me up to prison, it would have helped. So that's what inspired me to write that book.
Okay.
I wrote this one, The 48 Laws of Confidence, Don't Be Insecure, to add to the Mastery series. That is another thing I believe stops people from entrepreneurship and starting their own business. They really don't have the confidence in themselves. It take heart, it take nuts to be like, you know what, I'm gonna walk away from this job and my success is on me. Whether I fail or succeed is on me. I can't point the blame at nobody but myself. So to do that, you have to have confidence. So in that book, I bring a lot of laws on how we can work on that. That was my last book I published on the 48 Laws of Don't Be a Narcissist.
Okay.
That's probably for a different topic of one of your show. Maybe you could bring me back. But it's more about love and relationships and things of that nature, because that's also a problem which I see in our culture. To where we probably can work on.
And all those things intertwine to making the, best example of a human being, best person you could be.
Facts.
To your family and for yourself, not just for everybody else, for you.
Facts.
So I love that. Make sure y'all go check Ricky's book out. I think this has been a great talk today. I really want to keep going, but
okay,
we're gonna schedule another one. Now that I know you in Houston too.
Okay, definitely.
We're gonna definitely schedule some more, and we'll sit down and probably dive into each one of your books. So I really want to get into that narcissist book. I probably need to read it so I can get some more insight on. Ain't no probably. I'm gonna read it. I'm going to read it so I can get some more insight, because I want to see a male's perspective of, how it's always women with the narcissists.
Right.
I want to see what a male thinks a narcissist is.
Right.
A male perspective on it. And I might just have to call you up here a couple times, because I do like to get a male perspective on things sometimes. I always have a lot of women that'll come sit down with me, but it's rare. If you go look back at the episodes, I got like 73 episodes. It's rare I can get a man on the couch. So,
gotcha.
And a well-spoken man at that. Clock it, y'all. I don't know. Lady, you single?
Nah, I'm in
Okay. Ladies, that's what I'm saying. I got a lot of women followers, so I'm saying they'll get wild in the comments. But a nice, respectable man.
They can get wild. It's good for content. It's good for the algorithm.
It is. A nice, respectable man who can speak their piece. It's giving, what's that man off of tonight's conversation? It's giving Trip Fontaine. A nice, respectable person who can speak their piece and talk to women without, feeling like they got to be coming at them, or they got to be giving them something more. They got to be doing something extra more than what they already doing. You are doing enough, Black man. You are doing great. And I just want to applaud everything that we just talked about and everything that you've been doing, because I've been seeing you. So you're welcome. Thank you for having me. For coming.
Thank you for having me.
For coming today. And that was another episode. See y'all next week. Who's this?